What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back, race fans. Welcome to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Here tonight, we have the ARCA Evolution Series here at the Watkins Glen International Racetrack. What a night we have in store for you, as we have the We Back Our Military 25 here at Watkins Glen, as I said. So, one fantastic night of racing we have in store for you fans here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting with the Evolution Racing Leagues, as the ARCA Evolution Series and the R-Star Cup Series at 9:20 Eastern, taking on Watkins Glen here, turning left and right. Going to be spectacular. But let's give a shout out to all our partners out here at the Evolution Racing Leagues that help make it happen. First, we have Or Nissan Central. Or Nissan Central is the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. You can go check out their website at www.ornissancentral.com. Next up, we have Sheffield Graphics. Sheffield Graphics is the leading designer in sim racing paint schemes and liveries. It was founded by a Navy veteran, and a portion of every paint goes to the Military Foundation Folds of Honor. It's a great nonprofit organization who gives sponsorship to the families of fallen soldiers and disabled veterans. Make sure to check them out on Facebook under Sheffield Graphics. We also have ButtKicker. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from the subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving physical mass instead of only air, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful base response, and it's all perfectly synced with every game with no additional software required. So make sure to go to ButtKicker.com to feel what you've been missing. You can also use Freaky Fast 20 to get 20% off on all purchases at ButtKicker.com. And remember, that's Freaky Fast 20, Freaky with 2 E's. So make sure to go check out ButtKicker and you can feel what you've been missing. But thank you to all the partners here at the Evolution Racing Leagues and Freaky Fast Broadcasting, as we have a lot of racing in store here tonight. I am Zach Hall up in the booth calling the action. Alongside me will be Brandon Colley, and up in the production booth will be Robert Moyer Jr. running all the cameras here tonight. But Brandon, we have a special one here tonight, 25 laps at the Glen. First road course race we've ever experienced here at the Evolution Racing Leagues.
Well, first road course with Evolution Racing Leagues, and first road course for me as a broadcaster, so I'm actually pretty excited about this one. Know the Glen pretty well, not the fastest driver here by any means, but seen it for quite a while on the TV, so I like to think I know a little something. These guys are going to have their hands full, especially with these ARCA cars, Zach. It's pretty slippery. There's not a lot of grip in some of these corners. You can accelerate pretty well, but that lateral grip is just not there for a lot of the transitions, especially the top of the S's and the exit of the carousel. You can find yourself in trouble pretty quickly there, and especially the S's. It's kind of a log jam, so something happens in the front of the field, these guys are going to be in pretty big trouble.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brandon, with this race coming up on the schedule, I got out on the racetrack, did a few laps this week just to get a feel for what these drivers are going to experience. Wasn't able to get out in the ARCA car, but was able to get out there in a Cup car, and I can tell you this much. This track is difficult right now. With the way the tire model and everything is in iRacing, road course racing on the Cup side, man, very difficult with these transitions, as Brandon was talking about, over these hills and these crests of weight transitions. You can literally wreck in a heartbeat here. I mean, you got to be on your tiptoes at all points, and you got to be pushing also if you want to go fast. So it's very easy to overstep. It's going to be fun to see who can make the least amount of mistakes, because I think that's going to be critical to not only tire wear, no lockups and no slides, but it's also going to be critical to keeping your time total down. You know, when you start getting all these off tracks, at some point it's going to slow you down. You might go for a spin, as we're seeing right here on the camera, a few guys spinning here in practice.
Yeah, and the motto "slow is fast" definitely applies here at the road course. You still want to push a little bit, but if you're not comfortable pushing that hard to get the amount of speed out, back it down a little bit, make the least amount of mistakes, and sometimes that's going to be just enough to get you into victory lane there. Some guy at the front is trying to push really hard to extend a lead. One little mistake, and you could end up in these gravel traps or in these tire barriers and end your race pretty early.
Don't want that to happen for any of these drivers out here. But I tell you what, they got 2 laps here to get their best lap times in here for qualifying to get that Sheffield Graphics Pole Award. So we'll see which driver can do that, as they're in practice, Brandon. It looked like Anthony Gaudio with a pretty hefty 0.8 of a second gap to Smarol. But I tell you what, here in qualifying, we could see someone possibly break down to those 13s to get that pole, I think.
Well, if anybody's able to run down a 1 minute 13-second lap here for qualifying, I'd just hand them the winner's trophy now, because they have definitely earned it. That is a flying lap, especially how on edge you have to be to set it. I'm excited to see the difference from guys that are able to put down this hot lap for qualifying, see what their race pace is like, because it's one thing to turn a quick lap here, but being able to manage your tires and also go fast to get your pace throughout the length of this race is going to be pretty important here. So talking about Anthony Gaudio, he may be able to put down the quickest lap in practice, but if he does not have the long run speed and he's only a 1-lap wonder, it's not going to go very well for him.
Yeah, it's easy here at road courses to burn your stuff up. And I tell you what, just because you got pace in qualifying doesn't mean you can put it down. In practice, doesn't mean you can put it down in qualifying there, Brandon, because I tell you what, off track is very close here at multiple points on this track. And especially in that bus stop, you got to be very careful, especially when you're trying to get the most out of it in qualifying. I know a little trick is to jump that first curb. And sometimes if you get a little too much to straighten out that next corner, you do get an off track, and that's going to negate that time and not let it count. And I can tell you what, you do not want to give up track position here, because guess what? It's green all the way to the end, only local cautions.
Exactly right, Zach. The starting position going to be crucial here, because you're not going to have a lot of time. 25 laps, it seems like a long time, but it's only about half an hour, especially with no cautions, and you do not have a lot of time running in the back. You're going to get checked up by guys that are going to be slower than you, and you've got to be patient trying to get around them. There's only a few passing opportunities you're going to have here. You can't just go around anybody in any given corner you catch them. You've got to wait a bit and plan that move out to perfection. So starting at the front here, you're not going to have that many cars to pass, and it also helps there's not as many cars in front of you that could potentially wreck, and you get caught up in it.
I am so excited, everybody, here to be at the Watkins Glen International Raceway as we returning right and left here tonight for the ARCA Evolution Series. First time here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting for this series here to do a road course. This is going to be fantastic, and I'm just a really big fan of road course racing with the stock cars. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I try to make light of a situation where a lot of people kind of dread this, Brandon, don't they?
Well, I used to hate it a lot more than I do, Zach. I know racing with you quite a bit here that you are a big fan of them, and you do it quite well. I've got a new appreciation for it. Still don't have quite the speed, but I have a lot more fun out here just experiencing something different than the traditional ovals that we have. And it's a different skill set altogether. It's kind of something you need to add to your repertoire now as a race car driver. These things used to be a couple one-off races that you could be like, all right, well, chalk it up as a bad day and go on and not really worried about it towards the points. But everybody seems to be pretty good at road courses now. And it's kind of a skill you've got to have.
Man, we're watching an onboard right now. This is a fantastic onboard here because it's just so much working on the wheel and so much on edge. You can see these drivers really having to work it. Here's a ride on board with Jeff Carson in that 81 here. As you see, he's at the moment right now 7th on the board. They 1:16.54 with our top time being Anthony Gaudio wasn't able to back up that 14.2, was able to get a 14.97 on the board over Christopher Schmorl's 1:15.09. So probably looking like Gaudio gonna hold on to that there unless someone can come up here and take that spot from him.
Well, Anthony coming across the line right now, see if he can improve upon that lap any. No, actually going to be quite a few tenths off of that time, so it looks like the first lap's going to be your hot lap here. So as of right now, I'm not sure anybody's going to be able to contend with that 3's time. Looks like it may just have some roll.
Man.
A
Goes
flyer.
faster. On the second lap. That's unexpected too, Brandon. I did not expect to see the second lap be the quicker lap. That just tells me he's got a little bit more in the tank.
Yeah, he took really good care of the tires, just getting them kind of, I guess, to optimal temperature there for that first lap, taking it really easy, just figuring out, the grip, making sure he's got his brake points down, and then just went after it the second lap there. Nailing Gaudio's lap by about 4/10 there. That was pretty impressive for Smirol. I think these two guys so far, based on practice and qualifying especially, I think they're going to be the ones you're going to have to beat tonight.
Oh man, we might have a battle on our hands that could get very, very fun to watch. This place is known to set up a lot of good battles too. When you think of road course, you think of a track where you don't see as much passing, and it takes a lot more to set up a pass. But man, I'm telling you, a place like this is almost a super speedway of road courses, especially this cup layout at Watkins Glen with how high speed and how many spots you can pass that actually.
Well, I've got to think, anytime that they have a highlight reel when they come to one of these races, I can't think of any right offhand for Sonoma, but I can think of quite a few clips that I've seen here from Watkins Glen for the Cup cars. You got to think Marcus Ambrose, Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Busch. That's that clip where Kyle Busch is getting looped going up the S's there, and then that hard battle between Ambrose and Keselowski some years back. This place, it's a lot of fun, and you can run really close together and just take advantages of different braking points and stuff, and it's really close door-to-door race, and you've got a lot of opportunities to be side-by-side if you're careful and you respect the guy that's running around you.
Great racetrack for races. We just seen Justin Malarkey put down a time of a 16.202 there in 8th position, and look, there was the 8 James Wright. He was able to come home in the 15th position at a 1:19.48. So times are definitely going to be more spread out than when you see on an oval here, just with the nature of this track being a 2.4 mile track with 8 turns. So it's got a lot of separation here between qualifying, and looks like we still got about 3 minutes left here, Brandon, but only driver not to set a time is the 17 of Kevin Zabladil, and he did not set a time in practice either, so we don't really know what he has in the bag. I can tell you one driver who popped up there pretty far up the board was David Edwards, who had no practice, and also Josh Holmes, who picked up about 0.6 of a second from his qualifying time to put himself fourth.
I think the biggest surprise is going to be Josh Holmes for me. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't expect him to have that type of speed here to put himself in the top 5 for qualifying. Just saying, hey guys, not necessarily always a front runner on the oval side, but I've got a little something something here when you got to turn right.
That's really why I love the ovals, or not the ovals. I love ovals, but I really love the road courses. It's just you see the switch up of drivers. Some drivers really suit this stuff, and they might not be as well adapted to the ovals. But this might fit their wheelhouse, and they make it the most of it. And that's what I want to see which driver can do that. Right now, Smirol with that top time looks like he will be bringing home that Sheffield Graphics pole award. As we got about 2 minutes still, like I said, and Kevin Zabaldil still not out on track. He has about, well, really, he doesn't have enough time to put a lap down, so he is not going to be able to do that. So looks like the order will be what it is, but we just got about 2 minutes here to wait. As look at this, who is this out on the racetrack? It looks like they're going to stop actually.
I think David Edwards was thinking about trying to get some extended practice here under qualifying, but I don't know if he messed up the exit there. Got a penalty for that. Decided just I'm going to park it again. Oh, he's rolling. Okay, what do we got?
He might just be practicing the exit pit right here, or he's just having a good time.
I think David just likes the airtime.
Looks like he went with no candy this week. It looks like more of I think it's a Jason Payne scheme. So he decided to not be sweet, and he's trying to scare people now, I guess.
And some mind games chasing people down, seeing that hockey mask in their mirror. You get the music start chiming in your headset there.
Yeah, that would that'd be pretty terrifying for sure. As he's sitting there on pit road. As remember, David Edwards is our points leader here, the ARCA Evolution Series. He's had a fantastic season so far. See what he can do here at the road course tonight. I'm so pumped up to see how this is going to go. I think we're going to have a really good battle throughout this whole entire field with these drivers. Really close times throughout.
Well, we've got the makings of having really good battles all the way around this racetrack, but the most important thing, you got to make it through turn 1 to have that battle. And cars this close together, if one guy misses his braking point, you can get run over by quite a few guys here at the start. It's pretty much a solid 90-degree right-hander here for turn 1. Got to get down to about 70 mile an hour to make that corner. So I think we're going to really have to watch out for that at the start of this race.
Well, we got 100% fuel load also, Brandon, so we'll have to see how the strategy plays out, too, once they get through that turn 1 in that S section and get settled out. We'll see how that plays out, but we'll go ahead and pull up our starting grid here tonight as Christopher Smirol was able to bring home that Sheffield Graphics Pole Award, as he will start from that first position. Second's going to go to Anthony Gaudio. Third's going to be Stephen Carey. Fourth's going to be Josh Holmes in the 000. Fifth's going to go to Matt Upbrook. Sixth's going to be David Edwards. Seventh, Jake Shea. Eighth is Justin Malarkey. Ninth, Jeff Carson. And rounding out the top 10 is Justin Hendry.
Stephen Racing in the 2, going to be rolling off 11th. Zach Sandlin in 12th. Richard Gonzalez, 13th. Harold Rothery in the 4 in 14th. James Wright, 15th. Matthew Dude, 16th. And 17th position is going to be Kevin Zabladil.
There it is. That's your starting grid here tonight from Watkins Glen for the ARCA Evolution Series. Let's bring down Mr. Smirol and see what he has to say about putting it on the pole here tonight as your Sheffield Graphics pole winner.
Hey, Chris, it's Brandon up in the booth. You got your ears on, bud.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry. I don't know. Didn't mean to interrupt the conversation there.
Oh, no, man. I got to say, that was a blistering lap you managed to set down there to bring home the Sheffield Graphics Pole Award at Watkins Glen. Man, what is your secret? I was out here turning some laps while you guys were practicing, just doing a little test drive, trying to see what the car felt like, and I couldn't come close to anything you guys were setting down. How are you guys getting around here so fast?
Man, I wish I could tell you. I don't think that that's sustainable long term, though. We were, as a team, MR73, we were comparing telemetry. Really happy to see Jake Ashe set a good hot lap there time. I know he's been really excited about this race. And I've been trading lap times with Stephen Carey as well, just throughout the week. And I don't know. It's you just got to really be able to send it on for a hot lap, but that's not going to serve you well come race time, because the tires are going to go on you. And I think this race is going to be more about survival than anything else. So I think hot lap basically becomes a irrelevant stat at that point.
Well, you're talking about the hot lap not being sustainable brings me to my next question. What are you guys going to be anticipating the handling change like once these tires really get worn down, once you say 5 laps in or more?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. What I've noticed, and the track temp is pretty cool, which I really appreciate from the race admins, by the way. I think it's going to keep things a little more planted, but it feels like if you push it too hard, then your tires basically become liquid and really loose. Especially keep your eyes on the S's, and that high speed, you got to really feather the throttle a little bit. Makes it real tough. Car gets really loose. But after a certain point, then the car tightens up quite a bit, and you got to adjust for that as the run goes on. There was some discussion in the Discord. I don't know. Of course, I always refer to the Mike. I think it's Mike Tyson quote. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. I think that's going to apply to this race, where I don't think I'm going to go into pit and get tires, but it really all depends on how the first, I'd say, 10 laps go.
Well, that leads me to my third question. You're segueing me beautifully here. What are you guys looking at on fuel with this 100% fuel load? Can you make it to the end?
I believe we can. I don't think there was any concerns about that based off our calculations. But again, who really knows? Once we get into the heat of the battle, we'll just keep our eye on it. We're not as concerned with the fuel, at least MR73 isn't, as we are the tire wear and potential fall off versus coming into pit and the time it takes to do that. So.
Well, Bud, let you get back down there, get this thing rolling, and take the green flag. Wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of this thing.
Yes, that would be ideal. We'll see you guys around.
All right, that was Chris Smerol there, your Sheffield Graphics pole winner tonight in the 14. As we're going to have that pace car pull off here tonight. We're going to get ready to see the green flag. Green flag's in the air. Off and away. Who's going to survive turn 1 here at Watkins Glen for 25 laps at the Glen?
See you guys checking out really early for it. Nobody wants to be the cause of an incident. Turn 1, lap 1 there. Everybody getting through nice and side by side even. Now the S's.
Up through the S's, single file, all the way back to Justin Malarkey, just clearing off the front of the 81 of Jeff Carson. Now single file all the way through the field. The first 16 cars make it through the S's cleanly as they head down to the bus stop chicane.
The hard braking zone here can set up for a good passing opportunity. Everybody's still pretty single file. Anthony Gaudio able to get around Chris Smerol. Looks like now Smerol looking to charge here through the carousel, swinging out a little bit wider, trying to get a nice run down this little short chute.
Early in the going here, as they exit off the carousel down the back stretch here, heading down to turn 7. They'll have Anthony Gaudio out front taking the lead from that second starting position now up front. I think you're going to see a heavyweight battle here, Brandon, as we come to complete lap number 1, is pretty much still single file throughout the field here. I think the guy we're going to see, really like what Smerol said about tire wear, is he takes a look here in the 1 there, but backs it up. Does the 3 make it? Yes, he does. Great job by Anthony Gaudio. That's easy to do, is lock those rear tires up, going down the hill into 1 and spin that thing.
Yeah, it's if you're playing with your brake bias, trying to help your rotation into the corner, maybe be a little bit more aggressive. Once the tires really get worn down, you just don't have that ability to stop there and with the brake bias reeled back. You try to push a little bit too hard, downshifting, maybe a bit of wheel hop there, and you can find yourself looping it around going into turn 1.
Riding on board here with the 83 is Stephen Carey. He's in the 3rd position, directly looking ahead at Christopher Smerol, our pole setter, and our leader Anthony Gaudio as they exit out of the carousel. This is a critical corner for saving those tires, and that's what I was pointing out before. Mr. Smerol wanted to take a look on the back of the 3 there. Oh, down into 7. That could have got a little bit hairy there as they come out of 7 down into turn 8 for the final time here to complete lap number 2. Man, tire wear is going to be critical. As you look, there's Josh Holmes getting passed by the 16 of Matt Upbrook, but Upbrook can't get the power down on the inside, and Holmes going to pull back forward. But tires. Can they make it the full 25 laps on those tires is going to be the question, or does a driver come in, take tires, and make up the time?
Yeah, it's just a matter, I think, of exactly how far back maybe you fall and how conservative you are in the early goings here to stretch out maybe a couple tenths per lap over everybody else. If you can stretch out a pretty good gap once guys come into pit, you may be able to hold on here. 25 laps, not that long, and maybe the difference between winning this race and maybe finishing second is taking that chance to stay out when everybody else decides to come in and gapping them and just holding on as long as possible.
I think the winning strategy will come from that state. I don't think you have enough time to make up the distance with the tires unless there's a really lot of fall off. We'll have to watch the fall off, Brandon. That's the biggest thing we'll have to watch. But it'll be that's going to be our strategy that we got to play. All eyes looking now at Justin Malarkey. They're in the 8th position. He started in 8th, so he's held strong through the first 2 laps here. Coming to look to complete 3 here quickly, as he's got Jeff Carson not too far behind in the 81.
Looking here at the 77 of Jake Ashea, I've got to say, I know he, talking to Chris, he said Jake was really excited about this race coming up here, and I've got to be excited for him. So far this season has not had a lot of good results, just seems to be caught up in a lot of incidents here and cannot string together any good finishes. And when you're feeling confident about having a bit of speed on a road course, you really circle that on the calendar for sure. So hoping the 77 can pull out a good finish here tonight.
I'll tell you what, running 6th right now, not far behind that 4th position of Josh Holmes and Matt Upbrook there as we guides it through the S's. You can just see how on edge it is there for Jake as he's doing a great job navigating up through there. Now down into the bus stop chicane, one of the fastest, hardest corners on this track, and you can make a lot of time here. Is there you see him hooking that left front, now back to the right, now down into the carousel. What a fun track this is, man.
And it's a lot of elevation change too. It doesn't look like it when you're going around the track with these drivers, but there's a pretty substantial amount of elevation change starting with the S's there, and it just kind of slowly goes downhill all the way back into the apex of turn 1, really the lowest point on the racetrack. And another reason why turn 1's so difficult, because it's also a downhill braking zone.
Oh no, Jake Ashea around the 77, exiting turn 7. Man, oh man, and looks like he'll get it back going, but not too crazy much amount of damage. But man, he took a hard lick on the front there.
Yeah, biggest hurt to that is going to be the loss of position and time here. Going to have to settle down now and just focus on not making any more mistakes. Being flawless and letting other guys make those mistakes and cost themselves time is really your best friend here at a road course. But now going into turn 1, still washing out pretty wide.
Yeah, trying to get that thing back going straight. Just not the greatest lap there for Jake. See if he can rebound from it. He can rebound here. He can put together some good laps, get back in that mojo. He can make up some of that ground back. Doesn't let the cars too badly damaged. It should be good to go for race speed.
Well, Zach, I went and looked back up at the front of the field here. Stephen Carey falling off just a little bit, but last time by Anthony Gaudio, the fastest lap of the race. 5 laps into this thing, so they still got some life in them after a little while, but how long is that going to last?
Well, I can tell you, these guys just ran qualified laps and a lot of practice laps where they were really pushing these cars. And right now, I think they're trying to tiptoe. They're trying to do their best to not burn it up. But I tell you what, these two right here could get locked into a little bit of a battle and a little bit of a heated one here. Is like you said, running your fastest lap on lap 4 of the race. I mean, that's pretty interesting, especially for a road course. So definitely, turning the wick up. Maybe Stephen Carey turning it down a little bit, and it's going to let it come to him. Because remember, we got to complete another 20 laps here. That's a good bit on a road course.
Yeah, and watching Stephen Carey just not that much slower per lap, but just enough there. It should pay off dividends later in the running here. And as far as Anthony Gaudio and Chris Smerol, the pace they're setting, all that's telling me is that the tires are the most comfortable after that 4 to 5 lap mark there. They just seem to really get up to temp then, and they've got a lot of grip. Of course, once you hit that peak, it's all downhill from there. And you talked about tiptoeing. Eventually, when you tiptoe that much, you're going to come across a rock that's going to trip you up.
Yes, this place has got plenty of rocks that'll trip you up. I can tell you that for a fact. This place, it takes one mistake and you're around here. It's very, very slick, very high speed, and on edge. As you look back through the field here now, as you get Richard Gonzalez in this 6th machine. He's in 15th, making that pass on Matthew Dude, heading down to the bus stop chicane. That's up to 14th now, pushing Matthew Dude back to the 15th position.
As we're watching this, the battle between these two, going to go ahead and give everybody a heads up on Justin Hendry, the 28, 3 laps down on pit road, running into some early trouble, as well as James Wright currently on pit road, getting some repairs done. Looks like heavy contact to the nose of that 8 machine.
Oh no, James Wright on pit road early here. Same with Justin Hendry. He is out of this race. And Wright still on pit road, getting that thing worked on at the moment, 1 lap down. We'll try to get back out there and see what he can salvage here tonight with 19 to go.
Still a lot of opportunity for James if he can get that thing fixed up and limp around here. There's still a lot of laps left where guys can have issues and collect quite a number of drivers there. So if he can get that thing back going, still salvageable, a couple positions at least.
Well, looking right now, one of the closest battles would have been the 17 of Kevin Zabladil and the 77 of Jake Shea, but it looks like Zabladil is pulled away. He's starting to catch up to the back of Zach Sandlin here, as Sandlin is directly behind Steven Rasick, as this battle is for 9th, 10th, and 11th, as they got about 4 seconds up the road to Jeff Carson in the 8th position.
And Carson having a really good rebound as well, running in 8th. Just shy of the win last week, but a good comeback for himself. Now looking to capitalize on that momentum. But Steven Rasick, lock up into 1 for Rasick there. Going to open up the door as Zach Sandlin, able to go on by now into the S's.
Great pass, big mistake there for Rasick. That's going to go 2 positions for him. Zabladil and Sandlin said, we'll take the freebies, and I tell you what, coming off of turn 8 there, we did see the big smoke show coming there. That was Harold Rothery. He got loose and spun that thing down and actually had to enter pit road. I'm not sure if he even took tires. Yes, he just rolled through.
Well, I think he may have just gotten an unsafe pit exit on the exit of pit road there, so it may just compound the problem even more for that 4 car. Now just ahead of Richard Gonzalez.
Look at this. Matthew Dude exiting here pit road. Matthew Dude's going to exit here. You're going to see in the background, though, you'll see cars coming into the picture just now. That's the leaders.
Yeah, really easy to fall a lap down here. A couple seconds, they're running around a minute 16, a minute 15 second laps, but when you are 2 or more seconds a lap slower, it does not take very many for those leaders to wind up in your rearview mirror.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be long as Matthew Dude hit pit road there. And that 55, he locks up a little bit there in the bus stop. Definitely not having the greatest night for Matthew, but look at this. This is the battle for the lead. This is actually one of the closest battles still on the racetrack, as this 3 here, Anthony Godia, he's been great out front. He's done a really good job to not make no mistakes, I've noticed. And Smerol's done a good job to just keep the pressure on. So at some point here, whose tires are going to give in first, because still got 17 to go, only completed 9 laps, so not even halfway.
Well, just watch Chris Merle have a pretty big moment there, coming out of the corner, wiggling just a little bit. Rears are starting to show a good sign of wear here as they're getting around the lap car now. Matthew Dude on the front stretch going down into turn 1.
Yeah, got by the lap car there. Matthew Dude, great job by Matthew letting those 2 lead cars by as they head down towards the S's. These 2, I have a feeling it's going to be like this the whole race as they battle exiting through the top of the S's now. It seems like they're better in different sections of the track right now, and that's a very common thing to see in road course racing. We'll have one guy's better here and one guy's better there, as Zabladil makes the pass on Sandlin. Zabladil 18th up to the 9th position. He has been on a charge.
Yeah, didn't put down the qualifying time there. Just a little bit short making it in for qualifying to get his laps in. Got to make him up under green here. And pretty good pace, I would say. Not the fastest car on the track, but definitely faster than Jeff Carson ahead of him here, but I believe Kevin maybe just taking it a little bit easy right now, knowing he's still got a little bit of time left, but we've only got about 15 laps to go here, so time is running out.
Well, I tell you what, too. I mean, just think about this, Brent. I mean, he is our last week's winner in the Cup Series. I mean, this guy is rolling off some big momentum here into Watkins Glen. So great to see that for him there, and he can carry some of this into that Cup Series race we have here tonight. I think this is great practice leading into that race.
Yeah, I believe it's a huge advantage. Like you said, a lot of extra practice here. The cars handle pretty similarly. A few differences in just the amount of power you're able to put down to the rear wheels. But as far as handling and weight transfer goes, it's pretty similar and can definitely take a lot of weight here. So I will be looking forward to seeing how Kevin Zapladil able to do in the RSR Cup Series race here before too long. But right now, still got to navigate Jeff Carson, slowly reeling him in, but about 7 seconds back from that 81 at the moment.
I'll tell you what, I mean, that 117.1 there, I mean, that's only 6/10 off the leader, so that's a great lap time for that 17. If he can continue to do that, he could go up that board definitely. 15 to go.
Yeah, especially these guys, the tires get worn in like they are here. Guys are going to start being prone to a couple more mistakes, and some guys a bit farther ahead make those mistakes. Definitely going to be able to capitalize on that and pick up a few more positions. I believe if the dominoes fall just right, Kevin Zapladil able to find his way into a top 5 position here.
That would be some type of drive from the rear of the field to the top 5. That'd be a lot of confidence, I feel like, to carry there. And I tell you what, confidence, which is building, is the lead. Anthony Gaudio stretching his legs out on the 14 of Chris Roll, now up to 1.3 second lead, now 7.7 back to Steve Carey. Anthony Gaudio looking just hadn't seen him make a mistake yet.
And that's the biggest factor here is just not making those mistakes. You've got the advantage of being in the lead. You can kind of set your own pace here, but he's done a really good job of not letting the fact that he had a car in his mirror get to him, not overdrive any, whereas Chris Merle now slowly starting to slide back, seeing that interval increase, pushing maybe a little bit harder, opening himself up for those driver mistakes that are going to cost him time. Able to hold steady here at about a second, but I've got to point out behind them, Stephen Carey, last time by, quicker than Smurl. We'll have to see what it is this time across the line. Smurl picking it up now, 0.2 quicker than Anthony Gaudio the last time by. But Stephen Carey, I've got to wonder, maybe saving just a little bit. Has he fallen too far back to make use of the better tires?
Yeah, I think he's fallen a little too far back. I think this is more of a maybe not a tire saving thing, but just his pace type of thing. You know, he may not just have that, just that little couple tenths on average to the guys up ahead of him, and that's the difference right now. Is these guys are in the low 16s last time I carry there, in the low 17s. So, you know, you're looking at around a second of a difference of lap time there, and about half a second on normal conditions. So he's definitely looking good right now, but he's just got to stay forward here. He's only a tenth slower than Matt Oakbrook last time by behind him. So if he can just continue this, he's looking good for a top 3 finish.
Well, and if he feels that he just does not have the outright pace to keep up with Anthony or Chris, this is a perfect way to get that top 3, like you said here. Just be smooth and consistent. Don't make any mistakes. Don't try to push the issue and try to figure out what you need to do to gain that time that you just seem to be missing. You've got a good track position right now. If something happens to the guys in front, you may be able to pick up 1 or 2 more. But if you get yourself into a problem trying to push it here, you stand to lose a lot more than you can gain.
See riding on board here, Stephen Carey. Hitting turn 1. He's going to go down here into the S's of turn 2, 3, and 4. This place is, I compare this track almost to a roller coaster, Brandon. It's so high speed and up and down and left and right. It's somewhat of a roller coaster ride, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially the S's, the transfer, like, it's so blind going up the up into the S's, then you crest the hill and you got to immediately go back to the right there. Just it's a lot of rhythm, a lot of recognizing the fact that there is that elevation change and kind of off corner cambers there, because for a lot of the track, even though you're going downhill or uphill, it looks pretty flat as opposed to somewhere like Sonoma, where you can see at each and every corner that you are going up or downhill, and it can get you in a lot of trouble. You've got to really stay focused in a lot of places, and also enjoy the ride. It's really beautiful scenery for a lot of these road courses, but can't get too distracted. Just kind of enjoy the feel of not going strictly left for a change, and have some fun with it.
Yeah, that scenery can distract me too, man. Sometimes. Oh, whoa! We had a car go straight off. I see into the kitty litter. I think that was the 55 of Matthew Dude. Yeah, he's in the kitty litter. Oh no! Yep, there you go.
Zigging and zagging here.
From turn 7, just missed the braking zone. Turn 7 head on in the kitty litter, and luckily got it sideways to get the right side to hit instead of just the nose. And he should be able to keep her going, but man, Matthew Dude, scary moment there for him, and especially the cars around him. But we also seen Josh Holmes in the 000 there. He had spun, and he fell to the 6th position ahead of Jeff Carson there, but seems like he's stabilized at the moment here with 11 to go. And the lead's even closed up to now 0.6 of a second.
Well, still seem to be the closest battle on the track for the most part has been that lead. It's only ever increased to just over a second. Now Chris Morrell, like you said, able to close in just a little bit. 2/10 slower than Anthony Gaudio that last time. But I think Chris may have backed off a little bit to try to save something here for the end. Just a little burst to try to give him a chance at it to get to the lead. Now within 0.4 of a second here.
Oh man, this is getting spicy with 10 to go. Smol's definitely closed that gap, but I can tell you, dirty air here. You don't think about it too much at a track like a road course, but such a high speed road course like this, Brandon, going up through the S's, through the bus stop here, it's actually really tough to follow.
Yeah, the higher the speed corner, the more that turbulent air is going to affect you, especially at a corner like this, the carousel here. You're carrying about 100 mile an hour down to about 90 mile an hour, and the closer you get, the less that car's going to want to turn, the more wheel you're going to feel you're going to have to put into it there. And we've talked about how loose it can get on the exit of the carousel, a little bit too much wheel trying to keep speed into it. You can find yourself in trouble. Doing a really good job of it right now, but this is such a fast road course. I think more than any other road course we'd probably run, you're definitely going to be worrying about how that air is affecting you when you're trying to trail somebody going into a corner.
You can see here on board 9 to go.
Oh, Gaudio!
No! Wheel hop from the 3. Can he save it? He does save it though, but that lets the 14 of Sparrow get on by here. Oh no, that is a very common syndrome that we see here going down into turn 1 at this track, Brandon. It's just downhill, braking, shifting, it equals wheel hop, and that's exactly what happened to the 3 there. Wheel hopped it down into 1, and good save though. Can he charge back? That's the question.
We'll have to see here. He's definitely going to have to push. He's being very aggressive through the bus stop now, really hitting those curves pretty hard. And that just goes to show you what having a mistake-free race can do for you. Up to this point, Gaudio had no mistakes, had set sail, and was making it very difficult for Chris Smerol to catch him. But just the one mistake, he had given up the lead, and not even just a slim margin. Now 2.2 seconds back from Chris Smerol on that one mistake. Didn't even loop it, just a little bit of a slide there. And also got to point out, that was one heck of a save from the 3.
You got to wonder what that did to the tires, too, also, as Smerol going past here the lap car down into turn 1. Look at the lead, 2.2 seconds. Is Anthony Gaudio able to make it through that time? Yes, he does. Heading down towards the S's, but he may get caught up by this lap car here of, looks like that is the 6 of Richard Gonzalez. Definitely not helping him with that car there in the dirty air, I believe, but don't think he'll get to the back bumper until right here on the exit. Yes, he will. He'll get by Richard Gonzalez there. And see if he can set his sight on Smerol. And I mean, if he closes in the gap at all, Smerol's got to get worried.
Well, I'm not so sure that Anthony's going to be able to close that gap. We saw how aggressive again through the bus stop he is being, just right on the edge of getting those off tracks there, maybe even getting a couple of them, just trying to get everything he can through there. But through the S's, excuse me, just having that lap car in the dirty air ahead of him, he went from 2 seconds flat to about 2.3 behind Chris Smerl here. But now it seems like you said earlier, being better in two different parts of the track, Anthony Gaudio picked up a chunk of time on this back half of the track here, coming to the line now under 2 seconds at 1.8 seconds, trailing our leader.
Oh man, yeah, 16:44 to our leader, 16:82. That'll do it. If he can continue that type of pace difference, he gets there. I mean, that's the thing. You don't have to take huge chunks out of it. But man, it's getting down pretty interesting here for these top two. I tell you what, the top three could get interesting. Is now it's only a second separating Matt Upbrook and Stephen Carey. Stephen Carey has lap times have really drifted in the last two laps since the 19s and 21s. As Upbrook last time by is 17:85.
Well, this battle for third is heating up here. Going to give an update on the 55 of Matthew Dude. Getting into some more trouble quite a number of laps ago. Ended up on pit road now with a blown engine. For all intents and purposes, the race done for the 55, currently in 15th position.
Great update there from Brandon. One of these drivers out here with 7 to go. Sproul's going to come out of turn 8. He'll be taking 6 to go this time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As always, here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting here for Watkins Glen Racing for the ARCA Evolution Series. As remember, at 9:20 Eastern, we'll also be live with the RSR Cup Series. Here's they take on Watkins Glen. First time for us here for their Cup Series, too, with their road course. So we'll have to see which drivers can put on the muscle in the show for us there as 6 to go. Last time by, Smerl a little bit quicker.
Yeah, Smerl now going to have to contend here shortly with another lapped car. That, I believe, is going to be the 73 of Justin Malarkey. Seems to have found some trouble. Significant amount of damage on the 73, running in 11th. But continuing, it's not even really that much of a difference like we talked about earlier. Their difference in position on the track has been kind of even each and every lap. Just slow increases here, now up to 2.2, but this is where Anthony has been better than Chris Smerl this back half of the track after the carousel. We'll have to see if he can close in underneath that 1.7 second interval that he has been slowly chipping into.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like it's cutting down as much as it needs to be. It's going to take a mistake, I think, from Smerl up front to really make this a battle. I mean, well, 1.6 there. I can't say that. I mean, he cut it down a lot right there. So if he can continue that, it does put the pressure on. As you can see here, the battle between Zach Sandlin and Jake Shea. This is the battle for 9th and 10th. As Jake has caught up to him. I tell you what, we got good battles forming everywhere. I mean, 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 9th and 10th right now. A lot of drivers catching each other late runs.
Yeah, that tire fall off really starting to come into effect here, guys, that maybe were a little off pace at the start of this run. Finally starting to pay off and reel in these guys that are just ahead of him here. Specifically, Matt Upbrook and Stephen Carey now battling for that podium position at the front of the field here. But also David Edwards with his limited practice time, still running top 5. Really good evening for the 15, our points leader. And Jeff Carson also behind him in 6th place.
We've seen a lot of guys have really good runs here tonight. I mean, just, you know, didn't have the most flashy run, but had a good run there, as you see. Oh no, Carey's trying to get around Racing, and that's going to hold him up a little bit there off the exit of the carousel. Does Upbrook have a chance? Doesn't look like he will. Ooh, Racing pulls in front of Upbrook here as Steve Racing one lap down there. These drivers having a tough time to get around him. Oh, he's got to go to outside here in turn 8. This is definitely not going to be the best for that number 16.
Yes, Matt's not going to be happy having to get shoved out of the line there for the corners. But that's what you got to deal with lap traffic. It's not as easy to pass lap traffic at a road course as it is on an oval. just having them go up high and go underneath. See you later. I'll catch you again at some point during this race. They're going to be in the preferred lane, and you just got to try to get around them smoothly there. Luckily for Upbrook and for Carey, able to do that, but it's going to cost them both some time. Unfortunately, looks like a little bit more time for the 16 than the 83.
And oh man, the battle for the lead is heating up. It's under a second here. Malarkey lets the two race leaders by. I'm telling you what, Anthony Gaudio is really charged right now, and Malarkey very loose. Man, coming to 3 to go here, Brandon. It's all up for grabs.
Well, with the amount that Anthony has been fast for the last 2 laps here, I think he's going to be able to get there. It's just a matter of how does Chris react once Anthony is able to close in that gap, and how does Anthony set him up for a pass? Does he try to play it as clean as possible, or maybe wait until the last minute and try to shove him up out of line just a little bit and open up a space for him to go by?
Through the S's, Anthony not gaining time through there, but this is the section of the track he really dominates. Once we get up to the top of the hill here, heading down through the bus stop, through the carousel, he really seems to excel through here. See what he can do this time. Really aggressive through there. You can see really straight lines it, Brandon, and that's how he's gaining time.
Yeah, that's a lot of risk versus reward there. You get a bad wheel hop hitting the curb in just the wrong way. It can really shove you up out of line and hurt your time overall through the section. But Anthony really, you see him hanging it out there trying to get all the power down off the carousel. Anthony's done a really good job of navigating the bus stop so far this race. But now gap has opened up to just over a second. Anthony being really aggressive into the corners, able to close in the gap a good bit on corner entry here, whereas Smurl seems to be a little bit better on exit.
Oh, a little bit of curb there that time from Gaudio. But I tell you what, in that last section, that's where Anthony's got him. But I tell you what, that lap there, Smerol picks it up. But 2 to go. I'm telling you, a second lead here at the Glen. That is nothing to blink about. This could be, I mean, they could be side by side off the next quarter here, how the fast things can happen as they go through the S's. It's just a lot of time there lost there off of 1. And it's tough once you get within that second range. You get really, really dirty air. Wow.
And I think it's a mix of that, and as well as Anthony being that aggressive into the corners, it's going to hurt him on his exits. And it seems like now, especially with the slide we saw through turn 1, still super aggressive into the bus stop. I think his rear tires are just not having the grip that they need to allow him to get that good launch out of the corners.
You can see here, he's closed it down somewhat here off of the carousel. Down to 7 and 8. With 2 to go. Oh, I think Gaudio a little bit, I thought he went a little bit wide. I think he kind of did, lost a little bit of speed there. But coming out of the final corner, Smerol, a little bit of shake. Here it is. Sheffield Graphics white flag in the air. One final time here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. Who's going to bring home that Sheffield Graphics trophy? Let's see who can pull it off here tonight. The ARCA Evolution Series. One final time up and through the S's. 0.8 of a second lead here for the 14 of Christopher Smerol as they head through the S's for the final time. Up the hill, then down to the bus stop.
Well, Chris Smerl's seeing this lap traffic ahead of him here, just hoping that he can catch them at a really good time for himself. Looks like he's not going to catch them into the bus stop, but will they hold him up in the carousel?
Lap traffic ahead as they clear through the bus stop chicane. And I tell you what, Anthony, full send there. He has brought it down to within 2 car lengths of a gap here through the carousel. Lap cars ahead. Down the final straightaway here, heading down to the final 2 corners. Turn 7 up ahead. 2 lap cars also up ahead. This is where the 3's been super quick. He gets there, locks up, goes off the racetrack. Christopher Smerol just going to have to navigate this thing back nice and clean as Gaudio gets back on the racetrack. What a race we had coming out of turn 8 here is Chris Smerol, your Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight for We Back Our Military 25 here at the ARCA Evolution Series. And Anthony Gaudio going to lip across 4 seconds behind in that second position, and looks like third as they exit out of turn number 7 and hit turn number 8. Stephen Carey will look to bring home the third position here tonight and put that 83 on the podium.
Well, great job. That was a fantastic battle there. Anthony giving it absolutely everything that he possibly could. Just full send. If the tires had any grip, he was going to make sure it was used up before he got it back to pit road. And he absolutely did. Just not quite enough on that entry to turn 7, but a valiant effort.
What great racing we see here tonight at the Glen as Christopher Schmarol burns it down here in turn 1 at the Glen. Congrats to him for being our Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight for the ARCA Evolution Series. We're going to find our top 3 drivers and get our podium interviews here. Give us one moment as we get them, and we'll be right back, everybody. All right, we are back here, everybody, for our post-race interviews tonight for the ARCA Evolution Series here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. First, we'll pull up our third place man of Stephen Carey here in the 83 after a fantastic run here at the Glen. Let's hear his thoughts are about that third place finish. Hey, Stephen is Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Stephen, man. Well, a great run here tonight for yourself at the Glen, man. Started in that third position. And then from there, just brought her home in third, man. But not only that, you had to fight off some guys coming from the background there, but you held on to the pressure, man, and were able to bring it home third. So, how was the Glen for you tonight, Stephen?
Yeah, pretty fun. Those guys caught up to me and from behind. I have a monitor that sits on a little stand, and I jerked the wheel a little too hard when the car was getting loose, and it almost tipped over. So I had to catch it, and I lost a lot of time. But luckily, it worked out.
Well, I tell you what, man, that was a great recovery then for yourself to catch that and do that while you're driving here, going right and left, up and down. This place is very, very tough, man. So great run here again tonight. You know, you coming in here tonight, fourth in the points also, Steven. And we head off to Kentucky next week. So what's thought about going to Kentucky? And do you think you can continue to keep your good forms to run going? Because, I mean, you haven't got a win yet this season, but this is your sixth top 5. And right now sitting fourth in points. It's been a pretty good season so far for the 83.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm pretty confident at 1.5 and 2 mile racetracks, road courses, and even 1 mile racetracks too. So really, the last little part of the season is lining up good for us, and hopefully we'll have a good seed going into the playoffs.
I definitely would like to see that, man. And tell you what, a great run here tonight at the Glen. So congrats on that third place finish. Before we let you go, Steven, anybody wants to shout out to you, man?
Yeah, all the 3SW guys, RSR, Freaky Fast, you guys do a great job broadcasting. LearnSetup.com, helping me out quite a bit on learning these tracks. So thank you guys all, and hope everybody enjoys the cup race coming up.
You too, Steven, man. Well, thank you very much tonight for finishing in that third position and coming over here and talk to us. Congrats on that. And we will talk to you hopefully next week here in Kentucky. All right, guys. That was Steven Carey, your third place finisher here tonight. As we'll move on to our second place man, led a bunch of laps tonight, made a late charge, just came up a little bit short there, making a mistake in turn number 7. But let's hear what Anthony Gaudio has to say about his battle with Christopher Schmerl. Hey, Anthony, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Man, I can hear the disappointment, man, but I gotta tell you, what a battle between you guys. Just that little mistake leading there with the, going down in the one so easy to make here, going down the one that downhill turn. Man, I'm sure you wish you had that one back because you were able to run them back down there.
If I could go back.
Exactly. Just describe to us the race overall. What goes through your head as this whole thing played out, man? Because the battle between you two was intense all night. You guys stayed so close together throughout this whole entire thing.
Yeah, first off, kudos to Chris. He was wheeling it out there. But yeah, no, I love this track. It's my home track. I've tried my hardest to keep my tires, as long as I could, but Chris was right on my tail most of the race, and there was just no taking it easy. I know I stretched out a little bit of lead, but he had that uphill section nailed. I don't know what he was doing different than I would, but every other part of the track, I would reel him in, and I was just, I don't wish any bad luck on a driver, but I was like, please just screw up this uphill and I will have this race. And he nailed it every time. And then it's just, the braking was not too bad. I know I blew it, and then towards the middle of the race, I got a little sideways. Thank God I saved it.
But I tell you what, man, it put on a show out here for us, nonetheless.
We were battling. That was a lot of fun. That was the most fun I had. I'm not gonna lie. At all season, this is one of the coolest races I've been in, like battle wise. It was just, I'm sweating. I'm literally soaked head to toe right now. I'm
Trust me, I understand exactly how you feel. These races are these road course races. People don't understand it when you get in a locked in battle like that up front with someone in mano like that. It gets intense, and it comes down to who makes the mistakes. And unfortunately, it came down to that simple mistake, giving up the lead there, man. But I tell you what, like you said, he was so good through the uphill S's.
So good.
But
he ate it every
you were
time.
so good through the bus stop and the carousel in turn 7.
I was 3-wheeling it, 2-wheeling it. I was cheating on the grass. I did everything you could possibly do. And then, yeah.
I literally, I think you exactly hit the nail on the head there, man. You did everything you could do because, like Brandon said, he brought it up, man. You were taking a lot of risks through the bus stop there, but that's definitely where you were gaining the time. So you had to do it. And
the straighter you are through it, the faster it is. It might not look right, but it sails through it. It'll take it.
It definitely will, man. These things will hop curbs, that's for sure. You're definitely doing a great job of that to navigate it. We head to Kentucky next week, man. You've had a great season so far, Anthony. You haven't had the same amount of races that everybody has, but man, overall your season has been fantastic. It seems like every week being in the top 5, competing for almost the victory. Heading to Kentucky next week. What's your thoughts about that track? A little bit of different configuration we've had there lately. So, what do you feel like going?
I'm excited. I have some good luck at mile and a half, so we'll see. It's all just keeping it clean and keep it together. But I like Kentucky. I like all those. I like every track. I really don't have a bad track. I love them all. But I'm excited. See how it goes.
Yeah, man, we're excited too. Yeah, playoffs looming right around the corner there. Anthony, really excited up here in the booth for all that coming soon, man. But congrats on second here tonight. Of course, before as we always do before we let you go, man, anybody wants to shout to?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to my team, JCR Racing. All them guys are great. We practiced a lot together this week. We practice together all the time. Thanks to them for giving us good cars, and shout out to my family. Pop's back home watching me. He's laughing at me that I turned it. But yeah, that's it, man. And kudos to you guys. You guys do a hell of a job every week. Love what you guys do.
Hey, man, we love what you guys do on the racetrack, and we couldn't do the show we do unless you guys do it for us. So that's it's a mutual relationship there. So man, congrats on putting the show out there for us and getting that second place finish here. Just coming up a little bit short. I know you won that win, but man, it was one for the memory banks for sure, Anthony. But congrats here tonight, man, and we'll catch you next week at Kentucky.
Sounds good. See you there.
All right, man. You have a great night.
You too.
All right, that was Anthony Gaudio with your second place finish here tonight at the Glen. Now we'll move on to our Sheffield Graphics race winner, Chris Moreau, as he's got one happy smile, I'm sure, on his face. Hey, Chris, is Zach up in the booth, man? You got a copy?
I do, man. How are you doing tonight?
Man, what a race. I know how it feels to be in those tight battles at road courses like this is like this, man. And just describe to us, I'm gonna give you the floor because what a battle between you and Anthony here tonight at the Glen.
When the race started, I knew that we needed to, just kind of keep it calm there for the first few laps. And he had position, and I gave that up, and that ended up being a mistake, granted. But it was a lot of fun. Figuring out, I think ultimately, though, it did allow me to see where I was slower and faster. He had the pace, basically the second half of the course, and I was a bit faster through turn one in the S's. So that just gave me some good data and information I was kind of storing away for later. But just hats off to him. And then, of course, you got Stephen Carey behind you, just kind of waiting to pounce on any mistakes. And ultimately, that's what it came down to. The reason I was able to take the lead was because Anthony, unfortunately, got sideways. And if it hadn't been for that, who knows how it would have played out. But as soon as I took the lead, my mindset, like something switched, and I was like, uh-oh. Because now it's on me to not make a mistake, which is a terrible feeling. Like if you're in second and you're pushing and you biff, then it's one thing. But we got control of the race going into the end. It's just, I don't know. It was very stressful, and he kept the delta kept coming down, which I was hoping it would stay static there at about 2 seconds, but that was not the case. And so of course now I'm driving in my rearview mirror. And I just feel very fortunate to walk away with a win because he's a hell of a competitor, and it was a really good race.
Oh man, I love the points you bring up there about how it switches roles once you guys change hands, and that's such a good point because you guys were just so close that, I mean, whoever got out front, it became, well, if you make a mistake, that guy's gonna pass you. So it kind of puts that ball in your court, and he got close there at the end. How worried were you going down into the final two corners? Because he was within about 2.5 to 3 car lengths there.
So I knew I don't even know who the cars were, but I saw that we had traffic ahead of us and going into the last lap, and I was like, this is going to be a factor. This is a problem. And I felt, I apologized to him on the audio there because I was like, I don't know. I felt like I needed to check up a little bit early because I wasn't sure what the traffic ahead of us, what their pace was through those turns. And the last thing I wanted to do was, get in a wreck just because I was pushing it too hard. And I don't know if that contributed to him, messing up his line or whatever. But I saw him there. I felt the breath on the back of my neck there, and I was fully aware. I was just focused on not running into the cars in front of me and trying to not spin.
Yeah, man, you did a fantastic job to be able to pull that off. I'm sure there was a lot of focus going on there in that moment. And, you ran a lot of that race there in second position. And me and Brandon talked about this a little bit. Did you ever feel like there was an issue following tonight? Did you ever feel like it was tougher to follow than it was to lead? I mean, like you said, when you got in front, it felt like the mistakes were easier to make because you're leading. But did you ever feel like when you were close, maybe following through those S's or ever the bus stop in those high speed areas, that there was ever any bit of dirty air possibly?
Yeah. So I ended up in the bus stop really messing it up one time, and I ended up falling back to about a second or so, I think it was. I don't remember exactly, but it was because it was a combo of the dirty air, the fact that I couldn't see. So I kind of was like, okay, following by a second isn't too bad, but trying to really race up close just made things more difficult than I wanted them to be, because especially to the point we've been making, is this was going to come down to who made the least amount of mistakes because he's just as fast, if not faster, than I was. So in order to minimize the mistakes, I just kind of kept it back there until I felt comfortable pushing it back up again. To your point, there's too many more. You're adding variables to the equation when you're trying to follow real close, and there just wasn't any real sense in that, especially that early to mid race.
Yeah, man, great point there, Chris. I tell you what, man, you guys put on a show tonight. It was very, very fun to watch. I love road course racing and stock cars, and you guys backed me up tonight in my campaign for more of it. So if we can get more of this, I'm happy, man. So congrats on the win. Before we let you go, as always, man, who makes it happen for you?
My family, first and foremost. They're awesome. They're sitting there. I just heard my 4-year-old was like, "Daddy did awesome." This is just so cool, man. You guys do a great job, and they love sitting there watching. And it's just something cool that we get to share as a family. And of course, my team, MR73, we did a lot of work together, comparing telemetry, just helping each other out. And I know, I had the faster pace, but I was getting tips from them. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to have the faster pace to be able to point out something. So that's just part of being the team. And I'm really fortunate that Justin Malarkey pulled us all together there. So, of course, Evolution Racing League admins and all their other drivers. It's just what a great way to spend a Tuesday night. And looking forward to next week. I gotta put the game face back on. We'll celebrate for a little bit, but it's back to work.
That's it. That it is, man. That it is. But congrats here tonight on your 5th win, man. We'll catch you in Kentucky next week, Chris. Go celebrate this thing, buddy.
Awesome. You guys have a great night.
You too, man. All right, everybody. That was your Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight of Chris Moreau, as he was able to pull off his 5th victory of the season here in the ARCA Evolution Series here at Watkins Glen, as that was tonight's podium interviews here from the ARCA Evolution Series with Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And here are our race results. As Chris Moreau is able to bring home the victory here tonight. Second's going to go to Anthony Gaudio. Third is going to be Stephen Carey. Fourth is going to be David Edwards. Fifth is going to be Matt Upbrook. Sixth is going to go to Jeff Carson. Seventh is Kevin Zabaldil. Eighth is Josh Holmes. Ninth is Zach Sandlin. 10th, Justin Malarkey. 11th is Jake Ashay. 12th is Richard Gonzalez. 13th, Steven Rasick. 14th is going to go to Harold Rothery. 15th, Matthew Dude. 16th, James Wright. 17th, Justin Hendry. We'll round out your field, as that is your race results here tonight from the ARCA Evolution Series from the Glen. And man, Brandon, what a race it was, buddy. A lot of battling, and I'm excited now for the Cup Series from what these guys here pulled off tonight in the ARCA Series here with 17 cars out here on the track. We're about to pack this thing up with some Cup cars. I'm ready to see what kind of action we can produce with those.
Absolutely, a lot of fun with this road course racing here. It was a lot of fun to see, and man, the battle we just saw, I expect to see it tenfold in the Cup Series here in a little while. We're going to have a bigger field, more battles all around the track, more lap cars to deal with. It should be a lot of fun.
That it will be, so don't miss out on that. Remember, 9:20 Eastern. So just coming up here soon on Freaky Fast Broadcasting Live will be the RSR Cup Series at Watkins Glen. See which one of those great Cup Series drivers can be the top gladiator here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. Man, what a track it is. Don't miss that, but we'll send it up to our producer, Robert Moore Jr., here to close out our ARCA Series broadcast as we go get ready for the Cup Series.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, out there for tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. Like these guys said, 9:20, we're going to be bringing out the Cup cars here. Packed field. We're going to see how they navigate around here at Watkins Glen. So make sure you stick around, get your drinks, get your snacks, and get your PJs on or whatever you need to do to sit back and watch some freaky fast action here at Watkins Glen at 9:20. But until then, everybody have a great night. God bless everybody. We love yous all. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
My love.